Okay, so we're going to continue the tutorial and work on a few more functions and get all the way up to hopefully getting ready to do our first shader. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to go to window. Your game is getting pretty dark as soon as you restart the game, so we need to go rendering lighting as like it says here. We need to generate the lighting, and you just press this generating lighting, and once you have done that, it might take 5 to 10 seconds. It will then stop going dark when you die. And you can see here my console, I can see exactly what's going on. So the target shouldn't have locked onto me then. Oh no, it's on start. That's right, we do. And there we go. It's respawning. Perfect. So it's not not by any means a perfect game, but that is now working. So we're going to add a little bit more complexity to our game here. I think that's all for the time being for our enemy controller AI. We could. I'll just quickly add a little bit more complicated AI. So we got our enemy here. We're just going to add in an asset, prefabs. We're just going to add in a prop here. Maybe not a prop, like a structure, a building. And we're going to add in this building all. Wait, where's our player? Yeah. All the way over here. Cool. And we're going to call that and we can then go to our code, back to our enemy controller here, and we're going to add a new variable, transform. Oh, sorry, no, we won't worry about transforming. On point. You can see here that in the future we will be adding a enemy manager. We'll be adding a spawn point in the future. Not quite yet. I'm just going to spawn point transform. So what we're going to do with that spawn point is if the enemy is too far away, it's going to transform look at spawn point. It's going to move straight to the spawn point, not going to move to the enemy. So instead of just randomly moving probably off the scene, it's not going to do that. It's going to and we're just going to add here at line 18, spawn point 19. I mean that setting as well. Now it's not going to work yet because we need to add a new script, enemy manager, as you can see. Okay, so on game object, I can change this now to the player manager. Game manager, sorry, it should be game manager. Add a component, enemy script, enemy manager. So we're writing quite a bit of code now, aren't we? This is it here. Public static enemy manager instance void awake. So as soon as it starts, instance is equal to this. So we're just defining an object that can be used in any of our code now, as you can see. One point. Cool. We're going to go back to our game here. Transform trans. I misspelled it to me right away. Transform dot look at. How did I misspell? transform look at, that's not it, is it? Line 37, transform does not contain a definition or look at. Oh, capital L. It's got to be a capital L. All right. There we are. And let's see what happens now. Now our bad guy should be trying to go to the house. Now it's trying to go to us. Now it's trying to go to the house. So we've got some very, very basic game logic, enemy AI here. And we could, of course, extend that and make it a lot more complicated. But that's good enough for the time being. We could even add multiple spawn points and it to choose a random place to look at and go to as well. We're now going to be adding in attacking for the player, and that is the next thing that we're going to do. All right, so the shooting or hitting of someone isn't too complicated either. So we just go back to project, we go to our player object here, and we add a new script called, I don't know, weapon or something like that, or weapon. So we're going to be adding a few things here. So public, what we're going to be doing is going to be using, what's it called? I've just forgotten how Fortnite used to use games where they would just shoot like a beam. We're essentially just going to shoot a beam and to see if it hits anything within a particular distance away. Camera here, FPS cam to shoot to see if something's going to happen. Public float range is equal to 100F. Public float damage is equal 10F. Public float impact force is equal to 200F. Okay, and then public, we don't need particle system. We're not doing that today. Update if input dot get button down player 1 going to shoot. We are also going to go debug log player. So let's test out what happens now. What did I do? Oh, I've got to add shoot as well first. So let's go back to the script here, void shoot. As you can see here, it's clicking and it's showing fire, so it is working. It's awesome. We're going to go raycast, hit. Now, if physics dot raycast is FPS cam dot transform dot position FPS cam dot transform dot forward out hit range curly brackets. Let's see what we have hit. Debug.log hit dot transform dot name, and here's where it gets exciting. We're not going to do too much coding. After this, target is equal to hit dot transform dot get component. So we're going to then create a code that will be adding to all of our things that can be killed. Hit.transform.get component target. Now, if target is not equal to null, so if there is a component called target, and target takes damage. Target take damage. Okay, let's see what happens here. Raycast does not contain a definition for transform because I spelled it wrong. Transform. Let's see. Target could not be found. Line 36, 13. Target. Line 36. Target. Oh, yeah. All right. So get component wrong as well. Get component. So that should get rid of one of the other errors. Now we got 2 errors, and you should have 2 errors as well, which is good. We're then going to add a new script called target because it's looking for the script called target, which we have not yet designed. This is it here. So public target. If we save it now, there shouldn't be. Oh yeah, it's wanting a variable called a function called take damage. So get rid of all this. Public float health is equal to 50, and you can change this as well. So that means that you have to attack the enemy 5 times before they die. Public void take damage float amount curly bracket health minus or equals to amount if health less than or equal to 0 die. And then void die. So you can see here we're using public void take damage so that we can, in our target script, in our weapon script, we can actually control that. But die is not public, so that you can't just call die and it automatically dies. Feel free to change that if you wish not to have any health. Now that should work. There shouldn't be any errors. Excellent. Now we're going to add. Nothing's going to happen if we're going to click. But if we add here, target, I'm just going to change it to 10. Let's see what happens if I click on it. Where are you? I've lost you. There you are. Okay. We've locked the mouse, so it makes it a little bit trickier. And the collider, I forgot, it's really small. Okay, this is... let's wait a second, guys. Sorry. That looked a bit suspicious. Okay, there's the collider. Let's make it a little bit bigger. So it's not so small. All right. That's looking better. And we'll just keep we'll center it all. Why is it so high? Height. I don't think I've added gravity to the enemy controller, but let's see what happens now. because I just don't know if I'm clicking on it. So it's really hard to tell. And now it's kind of... okay. Let's add in a UI so that we can tell that we're actually targeting the enemy. Okay, so we're now going to have to open up our player and make sure our main camera is open. We're going to right click here and create UI, and we're going to add a image. Wow, isn't that a big image? Don't think we need it to be that big. Let's make it like 20 by 20, or even that big, 5 by 5. Okay, we're then going to drag and drop the canvas up to here, but make sure it's a child of the main camera, like that. Let's see how this works now. All right, so it needs to be bigger, doesn't it? How big does it need to be? Okay, let's make it like that. And this will help us to know what we're hitting. It's not quite working yet. So 184 by 16. 184 by 16, I think it was. Make that 25 by 25. Almost. All right, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of pausing and stopping because I've made a couple mistakes. So first of all, your image needs to be 000 40 40. Again, it's got to, and I think we could even make that a bit better. It's better to be a circle. We can change the source image here. We can to a knob. Sweet. The other thing we need to do is need to go back to player, and it's looking for a camera. We just drag and drop this camera here, and let's see what happens now. So we can see exactly where we're targeting. If I hit here, boom, it's gone straight away. Isn't that cool to see? You can change the alpha somewhere. Where can you do that again? Oh, just here, is it? Okay, change the alpha here, just go 50. Even gray maybe. Yeah. So you can play around with that. That is good enough for now, I think. That's where we're going to stop. Oh, we can do one more thing. I'll just show you how to spawn more characters. Yeah, I'll just do that. All right, the final thing, and then I'm just going to get your games set up for the shader, is we're going to go back to this building here, and this will be our spawn point for our enemies. So we're going to add a component here, new script, call it generate spawn enemy. Just maybe call it spawn enemy. Now, don't feel too overwhelmed. We are, learning quite a bit, and the more you code, the more you write, the more exposed you are, the more familiar you get to this. So game object enemy, we're going to define what our enemy is. Public game object spawn point, SPANO, can't spell spawn point. We're going to go public int xpos and public int y pos, and we're going to choose how many enemies we're going to generate. Let's go a ridiculous number. Oh, actually, I don't want to because it might crash. I would go 300, but I'm just going to go 4, like the Spartans at the where were they again? That famous place. I just forgotten now. Battle of. I've forgotten where they were. It was this. I'm sure you've all heard the story of the 300 Spartans. Where they were at. Game object. Enemies. And this little one here is array. We're going to have a list of enemies here. Game object. So we're going to find all of our game enemies. Find game object. Objects with tag. Enemy. Semicolon. Enemy count equal to enemies dot length. So it's going to, I think it's going to just, I wrote this code a little while ago, so I just got to make sure I'm correct here. It's going to be checking to see if the player has killed an enemy. It's just going to continue to create multiple waves of enemies. Random.range 150. So we'll have to burn down the house or something like that so that the enemies stop spawning. Feel free to modify anything here. And then we're going to write instantiate enemy new vector 3 spawn transform position x plus x pos. My old code it says 43. I'm not sure if that's right, but we'll just write that there. Transform position dot z plus by y pos material dot identity. Why did I say 43? Enemy 35, because they presumably will fall down. Now that should be all right. Game object does not contain a definition for length. What have I done wrong? Spawn enemy. Line 20. Enemies dot length. Oh, it needs to be a capital L. All right, so spawn enemy. So we got to choose our enemy object. We got to choose the spawn point. And everything else should be right. There you go. See that? We haven't added gravity to our enemies yet. We win. Not sure where all the bad guys are supposed to be spawning, but that's probably enough. Game object has been destroyed, but you're still trying to access it. Anyways. We'll fix up the code later on. So make sure you save it, and we're now going to do one more final thing, finish for the code now, but we are going to know how to create shaders. And at the moment you won't be able to access any of that. So we're going to go Window, Package Manager. I spent quite a bit of time figuring out all of this, which was a delightful couple of hours spent. It's 8:30. I've got a bit of work to do this evening. Come on, refreshing. I'm just going to show you how to set it up. I think Unity Registrar. And then we just type in here shader. What is it again? Render. We're going to do universal render. Universal render. This is important. Universal render. This will take a little bit of time. All right. Now, once that has been installed, oh no, let's hope this doesn't crash my game. I'm just going to wait a second. Once that has been installed and you have listened very, very carefully to my instructions, there's so many different versions of Unity and they all look a bit different. You're going to complete this shader tutorial. I'm not going to create it. It's a great tutorial already. I've updated this first part. I'm just trying to find it. Where is it? And thanks, Cullen, for saying that the shader doesn't look very good. There's lots of shader tutorials out there that do a pretty good job, but making a that looks like brackets. Yeah, there's just a lot of different tutorials out there for you to make some really awesome graphics. Some shaders, I mean, water shader. I think it was this one here. Yep. So you'll go to this one here and you'll follow along very carefully. Simple cartoon water in Unity, but I am going to, oh, it's still installing, is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, it goes through all the steps. I'm showing you how to get your project ready so you can do all the cool shader effects. It took me a while just because this is a 3-year-old tutorial and Unity keeps changing, which is annoying. All right, so it's now in my project. So we go to the assets folder here, a window. We right click, create shader, universal renderer, and we choose, I think, lit shader graph, and we just call it water. Should be able to double click on this, and it's here. Why are you pink? This is what I fixed previously. I'll go to scene. We're then going to go right click here and create object plane, and we're going to make it a big plane, like 10 by 10 by 10. Actually, maybe like by 50, 50, 50. Oh, it's too big. 25 by 25. 25. Okay. We're then going to drag and drop we're then going to I've just forgotten. I did this just yesterday. All right, I've done a few tutorials and I keep moving on. So what you need to do is here create a material and call it water material or something like that. And then what you do here is you drag this one to water and it's going to go pink, which is delightful. And I've just got to remember how to fix this up. And then we drag water into here. Now, if it looks pink, it means it's broken. And universal renderer, unlit. Is that going to fix it? Lit. So pink is bad. Pink means it's broken. Oh yeah, that's right. Render a pipeline. Upgrade. Selected material. Haven't I selected this one? Oh, I've got to select the material. Edit. Render a pipeline. Upgrade. Materials. Proceed. Da-da-da-da. Nothing happened there, did it? I spent a lot of time figuring it out, and I fixed it on my other game, but I've just forgotten how to do this. Because if it goes pink like that, it's broken. I've just got to open up my other game because I've... Oh no, I remember now. Yes. So go to Editor, go to Project Settings, go to Graphics, and we haven't got a render a pipeline. Oh yes, now I remember. So we got to add a render a pipeline. It's like, why don't you do this, Unity? Why don't you do this for me instead of me having to spend 2 hours figuring this out? So right-click Create and find render a pipeline. Render a pipeline. Where are you, render a pipeline? Oh, here it is, rendering. Universal pipeline, and we're going to use forward renderer and call it Unity UI stupid. No, just call it shader renderer. I don't know why. And then we got to drag this and drop it. Okay, I'm going to have to pause it now. It's something to do with here, but I've just forgotten. Okay, I've almost opened up my third project here. A lot of testing. And hopefully that in a year's time, this is not a redundant tutorial, that I can use it in other years. Maybe for the next 10 years, I can not have to upload a new 2-hour tutorial. No, I won't. Probably not 10 years, but at least a couple of years would be nice. Okay, so here's my water working. As you can see, it's beautiful. Thank you, Callum. If I go here, edit, graphics, project settings, new shader renderer. Oh, I had to open and close it. That's right. Okay. So if I come back here, see, it's not recognized. So we're going to have to save it, close it, because I spent a bit of time doing that. Unity Hub is here. CP project. Yep, that's the one. And of course, the tutorial didn't tell me that I have to open and close as well. So aren't you guys lucky that you've got such a comprehensive tutorial? You know, I think I started this at 6, it's now 9. Isn't that great? So go edit, project settings, go to graphics. What the hell? Shader renderer. No, it doesn't want to work. Ah, come on. Almost there. New shader renderer. Okay. How did I do that? Did I do this one here? No? What's this one called? Oh, we're getting there, guys. Oh, man, this is annoying. This is very annoying. Shader. No. Really, it's not a shader. We need a new renderer. Is it pipeline asset? No. Oh, maybe it is pipeline asset. All right. Create renderer universal pipeline pipeline asset test. I will delete the ones once I figure out. Oh, here we go. Yay! And everything's kind of working. Now we got to fix these ones up. Now, select multiple. I would recommend to select multiple and go click on universal pipeline and go lit. Oh no, this did not work. Standard. No, it doesn't like standard anymore. UI. You can see how this can be a very time-consuming process. Edit. At least this is working now. So that's what it should look like. So I'm just going to jump to the water here. I can now control make it red. That's exactly what it should look like. And go to scene. Yep. And you got to save it, save asset. So you can do this. You can do the tutorial that I will share with you. And you can play around, but that's how the shader works. Now let's fix all of our other prefabs. Please don't cry. I will fix this for you. It's going to get fixed. Otherwise, I will not upload this, or I'll say, please don't watch the last 5 minutes, or it will break your game. Selected. Just do all universals. Upgrade project. Yes, proceed. Yay, it worked. Okay. There we go. Let me know if it didn't work for you. I think that's everything. So follow that again carefully. Again, save it. And once you can see it not pink, if it's that big fluoro pink, it's not working. It should now be able to control that particular. We'll make it blue for water. And Callan, I'm expecting you to build the best shader here. Oh, you got to save it. Keep saving. Yeah, I keep forgetting that. And boom, beautiful. Wow, what a tutorial. Hopefully you guys have found this useful. Please let me know if you haven't. That's all right. I'll use that to improve next time. Let me know if all your graphics are fixed. I will be able to fix them after spending, several hours. I've become a master in all of that as well. There is one final thing I want your projects to get prepared with, and that's using virtual reality, because even though this is not a VR task, we are going to do it in class as well. So we go to project settings, so go edit project settings, XR plugin management, install plugin management, and it's just installing. Just going to take a few seconds. Yep, there we go. All the fun stuff is installing now. because you can play your game straight in VR. I think we're going to have to change one thing from here, and we just click on Oculus because that's what the school has. It's installing the packages as well. Okay, sweet. We then close that out and we go File, we go Build Settings, and we download. You'll have to download Android. Download Android, and then you should see these settings here. Texture package should be this one here, PVRTC. I'm 90% sure. And then you'll have to plug in the VR headset and you'll be able to play your game on VR. All right. That is the entire tutorial. That should take you guys a little bit of time to get up to, but I'm expecting everyone to be able to get up to that. Once you have gotten up to that, let me know what the next tutorial you guys would like for me to do. Thanks, and awesome.